All right. Oh,
Okay, be voicing for myself. Good morning. Welcome to the KSD Career and Technical Education Department. It's so exciting to see you here this morning. My name is Sandy Smott. I am the ag instructor and the CTE coordinator, and I am in awe of what I see in front of me. So I just have to take 1 second to say wow and thank you. I want to officially thank all of you for coming here today while we recognize Eddie Durr and his vision. Eddie had an idea to repurpose a lumber storage closet and turn that storage closet into a 256 square foot additional lab space that he has set up as a CNC lab. That CNC lab will offer his students, our students, you, the opportunity to learn advanced woodworking and to develop advanced woodworking CNC skills. That is a big deal in 2024. This is a wonderful addition to Kentucky School for the Deaf. So we're going to get started. I want to start by recognizing all of our special guests, and we have many. So when I call your name, if you would please, you can just pick up your hand because most of you are going to be speaking, or at least some of you. So we'll go right on down the list. So from the Office of Special Education, sometimes known as OCEL, we have Dr. Lynn Petrie, our principal. Where you at, Dr. Petrie? We have Shelley Badgett, KSD Director of Special Education. Good morning, Shelley. Tracy Sharp. Tracy is a strategic advisor for OCEL. Wonderful to have you with us this morning, Tracy. Shannon Sparkman. She is our state schools director. Greta Hilton, Associate Commissioner of Special Education. These are our people, and I thank you all for being here this morning. Next, from the Office of Career and Technical Education, sometimes known as OCTE, we have Mr. Tom Thompson. Tom is the Director of Student Transition and Career Readiness. Good morning, Tom. We have Dr. Beth Hargis, right over here. She is the Associate Commissioner of Career and Technical Education. It is a great honor, ma'am, to have you here this morning. And we have a bonus, and that is Mr. David Horseman, who is retired Associate Commissioner of Career and Technical Education, right over here in the blue shirt. Thank you, Mr. Horseman, for being here this morning. I want to recognize our interim commissioner, Dr. Robin Kinney, who's not with us this morning, but we know she's thinking about this moment. So let me move on to our distinguished deaf members who we invited here today to be part of this special event. These people we look at as very important members of our deaf community, and I want to recognize each and every one of them. Some of you may not be as familiar with them, so I am going to ask them to stand up. First of all, we have Mr. Scott Hahn. Next, we have Archie and Barbie Harris. Charles and Ginger Mitchell. Billy and Gloria Cannon. Mike and Mary Beth Gay. Kim and Pat Lush, are they with us this morning? Okay. I don't know them personally, so I just want to make sure I didn't overlook them. But we were hoping they could make it with us this morning as well. So that concludes our introductions. And we have a wealth of people here to support this very special moment for this program. So with that having been said, I'm going to introduce Dr. Petrie, who's going to come up and give us our opening remarks. Dr. Petrie?
I am just totally blown away by all the visitors. I'm always blown away with the students, but I just want to thank you all for coming out and helping us open up this CNC lab. I think you're going to be really impressed by the opportunities that we are creating for students and the certifications that these students are going to be able to obtain and some of the higher education opportunities that they're going to have. I would be remiss if I didn't thank two people. One, I think we had an hour conversation 3 years ago, and from that point, it's been great the opportunities that she has given me to help shape just the opportunities for students throughout the states, especially students with disabilities. And that's Greta Hilton, the Associate Commissioner of Special Education Early Learning. The opportunity that she has given me to kind of expand on what the state was already doing, focusing on creating opportunities for students. That's the directive she gave me, and that is hopefully what I'm carrying on with what I'm currently doing. Shannon Sparkman, she has endured a lot as far as my vision. She has been a tremendous supportive leader. I'm trying to carry out her vision as well of really holding this school to a higher standard and creating opportunities for the students that are passing through. And that is one thing that I came into this with, is creating dreams and making those reality. Sometimes those don't connect, but we have to have a connector in between, and that is belief. Belief has a lot of arms that stretch out to connect those dreams into reality. What those things are in belief are some of the things that KSD has. And that is passion among the teachers, that is knowledge, that is experience. Now we're creating opportunities that help with giving those careers, getting them experience, getting them out and creating that vision. So I appreciate you too, and thank you very much. They told me that it was going to be short. They were like, we're not going to give you much of a stage, but we're going to go ahead and get to the important speakers that are left on our list. I just wanted to make sure to recognize my two leaders. So I appreciate it. I'm going to hand it back to Sandy Smith, and she can continue the program.
Thank you, Dr. Petrie. Our first speaker today, Mr. Tom Thompson. I'm going to ask Mr. Thompson if he would, when he first comes up here, explain a little bit about what your role is so people can get more familiar with that. And he has a wonderful message for us today, but if you would please, I'm going to ask each of you just kind of explain what your roles are so people who aren't familiar with career and technical education have a better understanding. Mr. Tom Thompson.
Good morning. So I'm the Division Director of Student Transition and Career Readiness in the Office of Career and Technical Education. When thinking about what I do, I give back to students just like yourself, because I was a student just like you several years ago. Probably around 30 years ago, I was in similar seat. And when Ms. Smock asked me to come in and talk about Skills USA, I was super passionate about that because I competed in Skills USA as a student. I didn't know what I wanted to do whenever I was a freshman in high school, and I had a couple of teachers nudge me toward some computer related things. And so I got into drafting and CAD, which will relate to some of the information that we'll go over today. And then I had another teacher, my drafting teacher, kind of push me toward machining because of the CAD and the computer related stuff that was in it. And so I found my niche there. I found my spark. Um, and from that point forward, I had another teacher, and if you kind of see a pattern here, the importance of your teachers. I had another teacher that told me that you're going to compete in Skills USA. He didn't give me an option because I was kind of shy and reserved and still am to this day. But he didn't give me an option. He saw something in me that I didn't see. Um, and I've had other people in my life that have done the same thing. One sitting over there in the chair, uh, have seen something in me that I didn't see. And Skills USA helped bring that out. It helped me be a leader. It helped me create a pathway for myself. It helped me learn more about the actual career area that I was in, because Skills USA is not necessarily just a co-curricular. I mean, it is a co-curricular um, student organization. It's not just a club. It's not just something you do after school. It is something that is built in to the fabric of what you do. So back to what I do at the department. I have all of the program area consultants in my division and all of the career and technical student organizations in my division. And those folks help support schools, districts, and students to make sure that you get what you need, and to make sure that you have a career path and all the support you need to get from point A to point B in that career path. So, with that said, when Ms. Mock asked me to come in and speak today, I was trying to think about what I would say and what the message would be about the importance of Skills USA and about the importance of what's happening behind this door. And so, when I started thinking about that and the audience I had, some of you know what CNC is and some of you don't. And so I kind of wanted to start with that and then progress through the whole pathway of what the opportunities are. And I specifically picked data from this region and from the schooling that you can get further, the post-secondary opportunities you can have beyond this school. So I'm going to try to mess this up here. Well, if I could get out of this. I may need help.
Yep, that's one.
I also feel like I'm going the wrong way. Maybe it'll start. Maybe we won't have a presentation.
We will, it'll come up toward, when we start snacking back here.
Well, if it doesn't, I can move forward. So really what I wanted to show on there's a Skills USA video that I wanted to show, and maybe that part will get on there. But really, I wanted to talk about computer numerical control. That's what CNC is. And used to, you had to take, if you wanted to drill a hole, you had to take a drill press and physically drill the hole into the material by hand. You had to move the part around and drill the hole. What computer numerical control is, it uses the XY coordinate, just like you learned about in algebra or what you learned about in geometry. That XY coordinate system is how the machine or the computer knows where to put the hole. So if you tell it you want to go up one and over one and drill a hole, then the computer makes it move instead of you having to physically move the machine yourself. So that's what computer numerical control is. It's kind of like robotics, I guess. Um, so I kind of wanted to mention that because some of you already know what it is. I'd say some of the kids in here already have been using some of the equipment, so I would imagine you're aware of that. Another thing that's connected to that is CAD, computer aided design or drafting, and CAM, computer aided manufacturing or machining. And what that is where you design the part in this 2D space on your computer, And then that converts it into a numerical code, computer numerical code, so that it can control the machine and make fabulous parts. Um, really, really, your imagination is the only thing that would limit what you can make with some of the equipment that's behind this door. And it also builds that career skills, those career skills. So whenever you start learning this stuff, it's going to transfer into other career fields. And I would have shown you that, but obviously that's not going to happen. Um, but something I did is I went up and looked on KY Stats, which is Kentucky Statistical Information for Workforce and Education. And I found that just an entry level woodworking position straight out of here running that type of equipment makes about $31,000 a year. And they have most of the training is on the job. And then if you wanted to do some other things in other fields of metalworking, the same technology is used on metalworking machines as it is in the other ones. It's not working. So what I'm trying to say is you have transferable skills from all of this, and the job base for this in this area is anywhere between $31,000 a year straight out of here with this type of equipment. Some post-secondary education anywhere between 40, we'll say 39 and 45,000. And if you want to go even farther into engineering, roughly $81,000 in this area for engineering type careers. And when I say engineering, it's not a stretch to think that you would be interested in engineering from this type of work, the CAD and the CAM, to an engineering where you're doing that type of design work. It's the same. And when I say transferable skills, I mean that CAD can be used in interior design. It can be in civil engineering. It can be in machining and manufacturing. So this is just the start. The sky's the limit from learning this type of information. And if we can get, if you can just go to the very last slide. There's a video. So the fun part, I think the fun part is learning all the equipment and designing and making things with your hands and being proud of those things. But all of those things that you learn are super useful in competitions. They're super useful in the career field. And so I wanted to share a little bit about Skills USA. And that is the opportunity in the student organization that I referred to earlier. And so this is off of their website. This is Skills USA national, you started, national website. We are America's Project of Skill Trades. America's Project of Skill Trades. You're a student-led organization that's devoted to future skilled workforce. Our nation depends on. Our nation depends on. With graduates who are career ready. Day one. Day one. Day one. You're everywhere. Just not as it blows up. You're 400,000 and teachers. High schools and college post-secondary institutions. Nationwide. 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 On 140 occupational areas. From breathing innovation to wellness and everything in between. The skills that have been, the skills that are, and the skills that always will be essential, essential. But the skills gap is real. And it's a real threat. That's exactly the millions of skilled trade jobs available. And the skilled professionals ready to replacing that gap. Every single day. We are career ready leaders. The skills education framework is the foundation for everything we do. It's made up of 3 areas: personal skills, workplace skills, and technical skills grounded in academics. The framework is part of our curriculum. It complements our hands-on skills with life-changing leadership skills, communication, work ethic, questioning, integrity, and so much more. We are competitors.
We shot our skills in competition on the local, state, and national level. Competitions created and judged. To measure the skills that we're learning are cutting edge. You don't just get hired. We get hired first. For someone who's highly skilled, highly and doing the job available. That's what it was all. We don't just use our skills to help ourselves. We use them to help each other and our communities. We stay up for each other. We do in ways we never thought possible. We welcome everyone. We welcome everyone. We welcome everyone. Those on the news. No matter who you are, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, you got what it takes. You got what it takes. You got what it takes. These skills are the same champion. These skills are the same champion. Join us. Join us. Support us. Support us. Because there's never been a better time to be skilled. To be skilled. To be skilled. Who are we? We are. We are. We are. We are.
All right. Hope to see some of you there. All I got. I'll turn it over to Ms. Smock.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. I apologize for our glitch. I would ask you to send us your PowerPoint, and I would encourage Mr. Durr to print that slide off that talks about the money. Print it off, get it up on the wall, let these kids see what entry-level work pays, because we all know there are entry-level opportunities all over this state. It doesn't matter what county these kids are from, those opportunities are out there. One more thing I want to add real quick. I just want to emphasize the Skills USA CTSO is brand new for KSD. It is the second CTSO in the history of Kentucky School for the Deaf. It is a state and national charter. Mr. Eddie Durr is the advisor. We chartered the chapter November the 29th, 2023, just right before the month of December. We've been holding that back, not telling everybody, waiting for a moment like this. Very, very exciting to have another CTSO in the CTE department. With that said, we're going to move to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Dr. Beth Hargis, again, Associate Commissioner of Career and Technical Education. And ma'am, I would ask you to, if you just tell us a little bit about what that means.
Did I do that correctly? I have been so nervous about that. I was afraid that I would really mess it up. So I appreciate you being so nice about that. So I'm the Associate Commissioner of Education. I have the best job in the state. I get to work with the people, with all of your teachers, with everyone that works with this on a daily basis. I feel like I know just enough about everything to be dangerous. I started as a business and marketing teacher and then became principal of the Pulaski County Area Technology Center. So I actually grew up about, 40 miles down Highway 27. So this is home to me. And I served as principal for 10 years and then went to the state and have just kind of progressed through some different positions to get where I am today. I do love my job. And each day I get to work with Mr. Thompson and the other people in our office. We talk about technical training, how we can make things better, what we can do. We collaborate with other offices. Greta Hilton is wonderful to work with, and we are so excited how our offices have partnered together. So that's where I am. That's how I've got here. So how many of you are students? Okay, I would like to give you a quiz. Is that okay? How many of you know what you want to be when you graduate from high school? Okay, all right, I see one, two, okay, a few hands. How many of you still don't know? Mr. Durr, he doesn't know either. Okay, that's okay. But you know what? You need to start thinking about it. This is, and I will start by saying, let me back up just a minute. This is the first time I've been to your school, and I am so impressed with what I see going on. But you know, career and technical education prepares us for the jobs that are available today and also the jobs that are going to be available tomorrow. And those jobs are changing. It's hard to keep up with the technology and the different skills. Years ago, you might get a job and you stayed in it for years and years and years until you got old, like me, and then you retired. And it's not as much like that anymore. People go from different jobs and they have to know how to do a lot of things. My father retired from General Electric. And in Somerset, years ago, we had a factory and they made headlights. So my father was actually a glass maker. And he stayed in that job until he retired. So for all of those years, and he did one thing. Now he did it well, but he did one thing from the day that he started until he retired. But in today's world, you may start a job and you're going to do this, but tomorrow you may be doing this. So it's very important for you all to get the skills that you need and to learn a lot of different skills so that you can be that complete employee. So what I would encourage you to do is take advantage of every opportunity that you have at KSD. Make sure that you are listening, that you're learning. And I've had the opportunity to know Mr. Durr for several years. I know that he is a great instructor and that he will teach you what you need to know to not only be successful in your job, but also in your long-term career. And you know what? It's okay to change your mind every now and then. So if you don't know what you want to be just yet, you might change your mind. When I went to college, I got a degree in accounting. And I worked as an accountant for several years, and I kind of got tired. It was monotonous, the same thing every day, and I didn't care for that. And so I went back later and became a teacher. But I firmly believe that my years in accounting made me a better teacher. So you need to build on what you're learning because you never know what you might decide to do for the rest of your lives. So I encourage you to take advantage of your opportunities here. And I'm so excited about what we see and the machinery that you have. And I know that you're waiting for Mr. Durr to get up here so that you can see it. So talk with your teachers, figure it out, and take advantage of every opportunity. If you want to do it, you study hard and you try it and you'll be successful. So we're very excited to come back maybe next year, maybe before the year's out, because we want to see what you're learning and how you're going to put that to use. So thank you so much for letting me be here today and for letting us meet you and to see what you have going on at KSD, and best wishes as you decide what you want to be. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your words of wisdom and your encouragement and just taking that realistic approach. We all have lives. Life is a journey. Just keep building and doing and reaching for the sky. That's what my mom taught me my whole life. So now it is time to meet the man, Mr. Eddie Durr. We have to let him take the podium, and this is his moment that he has been waiting for. I'm very excited for you, Mr. Durr. Come on up here and let's get to this.
Good afternoon. My name is Eddie Durr. I am the woodshop teacher. Excuse me. Today's celebration is not about great things that we've done. It's about things that we're going to do. So far, all we've done is converted a little closet into a CNC lab. Instead, it's about a vision of things to come. We want to provide our students with a higher education, the best opportunities for a solid career by offering certifications in advanced manufacturing, such as advanced woodworking, the cabinet making, and CAD for technology of wood. We believe we can accomplish this with a partnership with our industry, installing new equipment that meets industry standards, and installing equipment that utilizes the latest CAD programs. So we thank you for being a part of our celebration.
Are we ready? Ready? Yeah. So that concludes our program. Three things. We have some snacks of yourself. Be sure to socialize, mingle with everybody, with your neighbors. And take a look at our shop and everything we got going on here. That's what we've got over there.